You're listening to 89.9, the Max Alternative. I am DJ Z. Earlier this morning we were talking about photographers' rights, and we're going to get back into that now. And remember, taking photographs of things that are plainly visible from public spaces is a constitutional right. That includes federal buildings, transportation facilities, police, and other government officials carrying out their duties, my bad. Unfortunately, there is a widespread continuing pattern of law enforcement officers ordering people to stop taking photographs from public places and harassing and detaining and or arresting those who fail to comply. Now, if you want to know more about your rights as a photographer, or if you're just a random Joe just taking pictures just for the fun of it, or using your camera phone, you can find all your rights at the ACLU website at www.aclu.com. You're listening to 89.9, the Max Alternative. And if you have a request, you can call us at 234-5373. We've been discussing off and on this morning photographers' righs. While photographers have always dealt with random harassment by overzealous officials since the attack on the World Trade Center, this harassment has reached epic proportions. In general, people with small point-and-shoot cameras are left alone, while those with professional-looking cameras are being singled out. This is the same mentality that results from 20,000 flashes popping during a circus performance while there is no cameras allowed policy. Private security guards, public police officers, and corporate security groups are using 9/11 as an excuse to only tell photographers to go away, but demand them to turn over their film and memory cards. In some instances, photographers are being detained for hours at a time without legal cause. A few have even reported having their cameras snatched from them. While security officers can certainly approach you and ask questions, they should not detain you. A wonderful resource is Brett Craig's The Photographer's Right flyer. Every photographer, or even person with a point and shoot, should always carry this around with them in case they're ever questioned by the police. I've had an instance several times now where I've been questioned for taking pictures on public property, which is perfectly legal, and that is my constitutional right to photograph anywhere on public property. Now, things you are allowed to shoot on public property is traffic, public figures such as politicians or celebrities. You can shoot public infrastructure, ships, cars, and trains. Trains has always been a big one for me, and you are perfectly legal to do that as long as you are on public property. They cannot detain you for doing that. Coming up, we're going to have Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit and Motion City soundtrack, True Romance, by True Romance. And if you have ever had any problems with officers or people questioning you for your photographer, give us a call at 234-5373. I'd like to hear your story. Let's get back to the music here on 89.9, the Max Alternative. You're listening to 89.9, the Max Alternative. That was Jason Mars, The Remedy, by request. And if you have a request, you can call us at 234-5373. And this morning we've been talking about photographers' rights, where you can be at, what happens if the police would happen to detain you. So we all know security groups are using 9/11 as an excuse to tell photographers to go away. But what can I photograph then? In general, if you can see it, you can photograph it. Public spaces are fair game for photography. In addition, you can photograph private property while you are standing on public property, as long as you are not invading someone's right to privacy, such as looking through a neighbor's window. You can take photographs if someone's in a public place. This includes Private property used as a public place, churches, malls, office lobbies, and other privately owned venues are still public spaces. In cases of privately owned public spaces, they can tell you to stop taking images, but they can't take your images or camera from you. Now, I have a railroad employee of mine that I've talked to, and he says even in training for police, railroad, or other public safety, they train their employees that people with cameras are dangerous and they need to be reported to the police. Well, if you're on public property, you have every right to take that photograph. I've looked into it, and all the information can be found at the ACLU website, www.aclu.com, if you're wanting more information. And you can also print out a little flyer that has a little list of your rights in case the police or some other person stops you and asks you what you're photographing, and you can show them your rights. Well, that will be all for the photography this week on the law. Next Friday I'll also have another segment on a different topic on the law. And if there's a topic you would like me to discuss, and I'll dig in some information on it, you can call the hotline at 234-5373. I'll be here till 10 o'clock. And if you have a request, you can call us at 234-5373.